Good afternoon, my friend and Miss Linda. We are from the chemical engineering major, and now we are going to explain you about chemical engineering. Before we start our presentation, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Somya Satwika, and beside me is my partner.
Putu.
Now we are going to start our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Somya, for the chance. Chemical engineering major is the studies that process or converting raw goods into goods of high value, either finished goods or semi-finished goods. Chemical engineering also applied primarily in the design and maintenance of a chemical process. So basically, we will make a factory for the company that will prepare anything, any kind of material needed for the factory, so that we prepare anything that the company just run the company itself, not the factory. Thank you. Please next. Chemical engineering major also deal with the selection of appropriate raw materials such as crude oil, sugar cane, and also the efficiency, safe, and cost-effective running of plants. Chemical engineering major also deal with the production of the products. Please next. This is the areas of expertise. So the chemical engineering student will be expertise in three sites. This is the first, clean and environmental friendly energy system. So we cannot ignore the environmentally effect. We have to do conventional and renewable energy. And also we currently are doing a research for the nanomaterial research. Please next. Okay, this is the major capacity for the chemical engineering program in ITS. So in total, we have 200 students from the divided to the two programs. First is regular program, and the second is IUP program, which the regular program will be divided into three test line. There are the SNMPTN for 40 students, 60 students in the SBMPTN, also 60 students in SKMP test line. For the IUP program, they will get directly into the IUP program for 40 students 100%. Next, please. The major accreditation for the chemical engineering program in ITS already accredited by the Kemenistekdikbud for the bachelor degree, master degree, and also the doctoral degree for the A accreditation. And for the international accreditation will be INKS certification and also IABEE certification. Please next. Okay, for the next slide, will be explained by my partners, Ketut Somya Satwika.
Yes, thank you for the time, Farrell. Now we are going to discuss the chemical engineering employment forecast. This chart is taken from the US Bureau of Labor Statistic Employment Projection Program. In this chart shows that the needs of chemical engineer in the chemical industries from the year 2020 until 2029. From this chart, we can see that the need of chemical engineer in industries is increasingly through the year. So we can conclude that the needs of chemical engineer is important for the chemical industries, and the chemical engineer is also needed for the industry and society. Now we are going to talk about job prospect in chemical engineering. The prospect of chemical engineering major is pretty wide. As a bachelor degree of chemical engineering, here are some prospects of the job. The first one is the quality process. The second one is science and research development, because the chemical engineering can work as in science and research development. So they've become a engineer that can contribute to the society. The third one is the oil and mine industries. The fourth is the food industries, because the course studied in the chemical engineering cover the knowledge needed in the food industry, such as microbiology and organic chemistries. And the last one is the education teacher. The chemical engineer can also work in education teacher, such as a lecturer in the university that teach chemical engineering. Now the industry target in chemical engineering, the first one is oil and gas, because it is undeniable that in oil and gas industries, people are needed who really understand the process and of raw materials such as crude oils to become products or finished materials. With many alumni from the chemical engineering department working at ExxonMobil, Pertamina, Chevron, and various other large companies. The second one is EPCC. EPCC is called Engineering, Procurement, Construction, and Commissioning. Chemical plant design, or EPCC, studied in chemical engineering can reach up to 80% until 90% of the lecture. The the third one is the wastewater treatment. The chemical engineer can work in this industries because from this treatment, there is water that is free to be a good quality water that can be used by the society. And chemical engineering, engineers have a big role in these industries. The fourth is the petrochemical, because the chemical engineer can do separation and purification technology, petrochemical technology, and the process synthesis of the simulation are some of the courses studied in chemical engineering and are closely related to the petrochemical industry. So the chemical engineer can also work in these industries too. And the last one is we are going to talk about FMCG. FMCG is a fast-moving consumer goods. Take a look at the different stuff we use almost every day in our house, like bath soap, detergent, milk packaging, toothpaste, and various other consumer products that are impossible to reach at home and we use without intervention of people from the chemical engineering. Now we have reached an end. Is there any question from our friend? If you got a question, you can raise your hand to speak your question, or you can type your question into the chat box. We've got two questions from Imade Maesa Wiswakarma and Putu Satyadevala. The first person to ask, we will give to Made Maesa. Please, Maesa, you can unmute.
Okay, Somya, I want to ask about FMCG industries. And so can I deliver my question now?
Okay.
Okay, we know that the MCK industries is concerned with selling products quickly with relative cheap prices. In that industries, there are also chemical engineering who have an important role. But I don't have any clear imagination about it. So can you mention what are the roles of chemical engineering in MCK industries?
Yes, thank you for your question, Maesa. Now, however, we are going to give a chance to Putunio Satyadevala to ask their question.
Thank you for your time. So I have a question for you, and my question is, so what is the difference between chemistry major and chemical engineering? That's it.
Yes, thank you for the question. Now we are going to answer your questions. The first one is what is the role of the chemical engineering or chemical engineer in the FMCG industries? in a chemical engineer in FMCG industry has a big role. His most value addition comes in the process improvement and the quality assurance. Since FMCG products are directly consumed, they need to be produced at least possible cost while adhering to the requirements of the consumer and quality parameters. So the chemical engineer in FMCG industry has a big role because of the chemical engineer can be a process engineer or the quality control. So the product that is produced by the industry of the or the FMCG industries can be a good quality that is used by the society. And next we are going to answer the second question from Putu Neo, and the question is the question will be answered by my friend Farrell. Thanks, yours.
Thank you. All right, thank you for the question, Putunio Satidefala. So the difference between the chemical program and the chemical engineering program is they have a different focus with knowledge. The semis have a detailed knowledge of a chemical structures, reactions, properties, and of the underlying principles and theories. Besides that, the chemical engineering will have a general knowledge of the chemistry, but their main focus is not detailed to the chemical principle, but detailed with the knowledge of heat and mass flow and other engineering principles. So basically, the difference between the chemical program and chemical engineering program is in the main focus of the study and a principle. The chemical mainly will get more closer into the science and research program. And for the chemical engineering, we'll get closer and we'll study a lot of principle for the engineering, such as the industry, mining, FMCG, and etc. So that's my answer. Is there any question? Okay. Okay. If there's no other questions, we'd like to say thank you, and we really appreciate for those who taking attention, and also thank you so much for the questions. We also like to say thank you for Ma'am Linda for taking the attention of our presentations, and also we would like to say sorry if there's any mistake we made. For final words, we'll say thank you. My name is Igusti Putu Kusuma, and my partner.
My name is Ketut Somya Satwika.
I would like to say goodbye. Thank you for the attention. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.